You're watching News 24 Live. A number of injuries and fatalities at construction sites over the past few months has again highlighted the concern around health and safety in this sector. I'm joined over Skype this afternoon by Professor John Smallwood, who is the head of construction management at the Nelson Mandela Metropolitan University, to get a more academic perspective on this issue. Good afternoon, John. It seems that health and safety is still a major problem at construction sites in South Africa. Would you agree?
Yes, it is very much an issue. Recently, a report was published in the media to the effect that there is only a level of 50% compliance in terms of construction health and safety, and that's according to the Department of Labour. And in fact, that was recorded in the Construction Industry Development Board's Health and Safety Status Report in 2009, actually published 11th of June 2009. So the level of compliance appears to remain relatively constant. But then, of course, any person could visit, say, 10 or 100 construction sites and determine for themselves.
Okay, so has the situation, has it deteriorated? Is it because of the increase of construction nationwide that there are more incidences? Is the number of injuries and fatalities on the rise or on the decline?
Well, the amount of construction activity cannot be stated to have increased. That is, in terms of business volume per annum. For example, it's substantially less than the leading period, that is to the 2010 Football World Cup, for example. That's when construction probably peaked in South Africa. So the level of incidents and fatalities and other injuries has remained pretty constant. And certainly the media reports, despite there having been a downturn in construction activity.
Okay. Well, John, I just want to read out a number of incidences that have happened over the past 2 months, starting with the most recent, just to kind of highlight the severity of the situation. So we had on the 13th of August, one person died and 3 others sustained minor to moderate injuries when a wall collapsed at a construction site in Newcastle. On the 5th of August, a 26-year-old pregnant woman was in a critical condition after falling 4 stories at a construction site in Pietermaritzburg. 3 men were critically injured after a wall of sand 4 meters high collapsed onto them at a construction site in Mount Moriah. That was on the 28th of July. On the 27th of July, a man was critically injured after he fell from a ladder at a shopping mall in Pretoria. And then on the 22nd of June, 2 workers were injured, one critically so after they fell about 3 stories from scaffolding at a construction site in Bloemfontein. So that's just a handful of incidences that have happened, like I said, over the past 2 months. Is this a failure of health and safety being implemented and or the workers just having a disregard for the risks involved?
Well, obviously, if health and safety was effective in all those situations, no person would have been injured. So that's not rocket science. And then we always need to consider that workers work in an environment created by management and in which environment supervisors supervise the construction process and activities. So we should be very careful in terms of not blaming, or we should not blame workers because they behave in a manner that management and supervision is prepared to accept. It's as simple as that. It's a management and supervisory responsibility. If people don't work in a healthy and safe manner, then they need to be assisted, to use that term, to work in a healthy and safe manner. But that's based upon the proviso that there is management and supervision in the workplace is concerned. Walls do not just fall onto people. workers do not just fall off scaffolds, whether they're pregnant or not pregnant. So yes, we need to start with the premise that accidents are in fact not accidents, they're failures of management. Management's responsible for, among other, planning work, that is construction work, and so too health and safety. So if it's management's function to plan construction work and health and safety, and an accident which is allegedly an unforeseen and unplanned event, then obviously management didn't plan. So it's a failure of management. Now, that requires a paradigm shift on the parts of many participants in not just the South African construction industry, but in construction industries worldwide. Workers may well disregard health and safety procedures and protocol, but if health and safety training, and more specifically induction and frequent toolbox talks are actually undertaken, then an environment that is conducive to health and safety can be created. But of course that is important because of health and safety, the climate firstly, and then the culture.